Hello children, it is me, McGrouch, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Chugga Railgun in Helldivers 2. The Railgun serves a very specific purpose in this game. Unfortunately, I have yet to figure out exactly what that purpose is. I think it might have something to do with armor. At least, that's what the armor pen would seem to suggest. It is very difficult for me to verify this outlook on account of the fact that about half of the armored enemies in this game seem to have a very difficult time being brought down by this weapon. And it's not that hard to see why. It's because this weapon, even with its outstanding pen and above average damage, is still lacking in one very important aspect: durable damage. Now, durability is a stat that I have gone out of my way to avoid talking about because I don't really understand it. When I see it listed on the wiki, it gets filed under math shit in my mind and then immediately forgotten. This is because durability is basically just math shit. As far as I understand, there are two different types of damage in this game: damage and durable damage. Durable damage is how much damage you deal to durable parts on an enemy. Durability on enemies is basically a standing integer between 1 and 100 that represents how much of each type of damage that body part is going to take. When a body part is at 100 durability, you deal the amount of damage designated in the durable section. But as you damage the body part, the durability also decreases, reducing it by a certain amount. If your attack removes, say, 20% durability, then the amount that durability decreases your damage by will also decrease by 20%. And then damage dealt will be 20% closer to the max damage, in this case, where the damage at 100% durability is 562 and at 0% durability is 1500, then at 80% durability, you will end up doing 20% of the difference between the two. In this case, that is 187.6 more damage, making for 794.6 damage total. Do you understand why I didn't want to talk about this shit? The issue arises in the fact that most of the big boy enemies, your Bio Titans, your Factory Striders, your Ragdoll machines, all of them have the same issue: a high health pool and high durability. So even though this weapon does do damage to them, the amount of material you need to pump into these enemies makes the Railgun a dubious pick if you want something to take down heavies. Where this gun excels? Medium enemies. This does more than enough damage to pick them off with one shot, though the placement of that one shot still makes a big difference. This gun is exceptionally accurate, and it needs to be. The fact that it lacks any kind of explosive payload means that you need to be placing shots in spots that can be brought down by purely kinetic attacks. In most cases, this means aim for the head. Even if you miss, you'll land among the torsos, and that is torsos plural, on account of the fact that the high pen of this gun means it doesn't have to stop at just one enemy. It can penetrate through your first target and hit a second, even a third, sometimes. See, if the armor on the first enemy is too high, even if you can penetrate that armor, the projectile may lose enough energy to fail to penetrate the rest of the way through. Also, even if you can penetrate through it, it's not really that useful a mechanic. On a very, very tightly packed group, you might be able to get 3 kills instead of 1. And honestly, the angle you're gonna hit at probably won't even give you all 3 kills. This weapon is absolutely best used to take down enemies one at a time, and its effectiveness in doing so is proportional to your ability to aim the fucking gun. This fact can best be seen in the Overseers, especially the flying ones. Every Overseer can be dispatched with 2 shots to the body or 1 shot to the head. And, in the case of the flying ones, 1 shot to the backpack. Do you go for the guaranteed kill and increase your risk of missing? Or do you go for the 2-shot? I would say go for the headshot, especially because you have to hit the same body part twice to actually get a kill that way. This gets easier once you get the rhythm of it, and there is a rhythm to it, because this gun requires you to charge it up for like half a second before firing, but that's only if you're using it wrong. See, this gun has modes: safe and edging. Safe mode allows you to safely build up a fraction of the Railgun's power. The rest of that power hidden behind the edging mode. The goal with the edging mode is to build up as much tension as possible, and then to release it all over that Devastator. But you better not edge too much, you gooner, because if you do, it fucking self-destructs, killing you and destroying the gun so that not even reinforcements get to use it. So why use this gun in unsafe mode? Because of that sweet, sweet damage. You will remember earlier, I said that this gun does 1500 damage. That is assuming that you charge the gun to 99%. Why did I use this outlier as the baseline damage for the gun? Because you should always be aiming to hit 99%. It's a theoretical goal, one that you will never reach in anything but the abstract, and I wouldn't have it any other way. This is a gun for optimists, gooner optimists, who find that medium enemies are the bane of their existence, the key enemy to their goon cave. But just because this gun is accurate and encourages you to be precise does not mean that this is a ranged weapon. It would be were it not for the fact that the scope is absolute dog shit. No magnification. Why? The fucking Liberator Penetrator has a 4x scope by default, but the high damage, single shot railgun? Oh, just give it a fucking red dot. In most cases, I find myself using it in third person mode, a hallmark of all high-accuracy weapons like shotguns, SMGs, and Arrowhead's balancing decisions. Listen, maybe I'm a psychopath in this situation, but I feel like if you swap the scopes on the AMR and the railgun, this game would have two options for people to actually use instead of just taking the recoilless rifle for the 10 millionth time. Though it does feel like you can shoot this gun 10,000 times, a benefit on account of the fact that it feels like you have to shoot that many times to kill a heavy enemy. This gun gives you 20 shots plus 1 in the chamber. That's equal to about 20 Devastators or 2 Factory Striders, which is equal to about 1 500 kg. The advantage here is that you can divide that 1 500 kg into 21 discrete pieces, and then distribute those pieces as you see fit. It's like a pie, a delicious, ferrous, electromagnetic pie, to be handed out as you see fit. But which faction needs this pie the most? Is it the bugs? Is it the bots? It's the Illuminate. The Illuminate are the hungriest, and it is up to you to serve them slugs directly into their mouths. Or at least the spot where their mouths would be if they had mouths. Listen man, if you actually hit your shots, then this is a phenomenal squid weapon. It is able to 1-tap Overseers, 2-tap Harvester Joints, and like 4 to 5-tap Flesh Mobs. That last one might sound bad, but really it's gonna take that many shots no matter what you're using. It's just the way that they are designed. The Railgun performs admirably against the other two factions as well, because bots and bugs also give you a plethora of medium enemies to kill. Dispatching Devastators has never been easier. Killing bugs? Well, that can be a bit more of a challenge. Bugs, they rush you. This is a bad trait to have in an enemy when your weapon has a charge-up time. The worst offenders, the stalkers. They pop out of nowhere and kill you before you even get the chance to charge up a shot. But on the off chance that you do see them creeping, you can one-shot them to the body. Also, this gun is surprisingly good at taking out Bile Titans. 2 overcharge shots is enough to kill it. The issue is actually getting in position to get 2 shots off on a Bile Titan without dying, because Bile Titans are not only fast as hell, they've also got stupid big gallbladders, and thus excess bile. So as you're lining up your shot, if you're not getting stepped on, you'll be getting vomited on. But enough about faction specifics. How do you actually play with this weapon? By taking a supply pack and shooting anything that fucking moves. Will you always kill what you're hitting on the first go-around? No. But if you simply shoot something enough, eventually it will die. That's just a fact. Spray and pray, baby. Or at least as close to spraying as a single shot gun can get, like spraying with a swollen prostate. The only thing you really need to be paying attention to is enemy size. You want to kill shit in an order, from largest to smallest. Anyways, that's the Railgun. A high pen weapon with high damage that doesn't seem to do damage to the things that you really want to damage. Still, its ability to take out smaller armored enemies is unparalleled, and I like that. I just wish I was a better shot. Try taking it the next time you dive. Bye.
Subscribe to McGrouch. Subscribe to McGrouch. Subscribe to McGrouch. Subscribe to McGrouch. Subscribe to McGrouch.